Greetings, fellow beer enthusiasts all over the world. Thank you for showing back up. It's almost the beginning of summer. And with the beginning of summer, we have some traditions here in America. Now, it is Memorial Day weekend. It is when we remember our veterans and our members who have passed on and fought for our great country. But we also have good cookouts because we celebrate the unofficial beginning of summer. And a lot of times we're going to be eating some wonderful foods, maybe hot dogs, maybe hamburgers, have cookouts. And of course, there's one thing we bring to our cookouts. We'll go over that in just a few minutes, but today we have a mystery beer. What's our mystery beer? We're going to get into that here coming up shortly. We're going to drink it. We're going to find out what makes it tick, and we're going to do it on Now, it's time to reveal our mystery beer. Like I said at the beginning, during the summer, we have lots of cookouts, and especially this unofficial beginning of summer, we're going to be cooking out a lot. And we're going to be bringing things. We're going to be bringing potato salad, hot dogs, hamburgers, barbecue, just anything we can get, right? And one of the things we like to bring is watermelon. Go figure that one. We like to bring watermelon to our cookouts, nice cool watermelon, chopped up. Sometimes we put it in little balls. Sometimes we cut it up, we put it in a bowl. Kids love it. I mean, they'll eat that stuff up. And it's a good summer cooler too, especially hanging out by the pool. Or maybe if you're in the park, you're out there with all your kids and you bring a big bowl of it. You can't beat it. So today we've got, a style of beer that I'm not really fond of, but we're going to try it. Now we're going to try the Legal Remedy, which is here in Charleston, Legal Remedy, in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Legal Remedy, Guilty Party, Watermelon Gose. Now, a Gose is a little bit different style of a beer. It's going to be a little bit more sour. It's going to be a little bit more tart. I'm not big and fond on tarts. In fact, in a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably rate it a little bit more like a 1 or 2, maybe 3, just because it's not an IPA. It is an ale, but quite honestly, I'm not big on tart. Okay. I just don't, it's like any IPA that has a lot of citrus to it, but this is supposed to be watermelon. I am just not good on tarts. Now, Westbrook here makes some great sours, and I have had theirs, and they're really good. And if you enjoy sours, if you like the good soury candies, this is going to be exceptional. But we're going to try it. We're going to find out. Again, we're going to find out what makes it tick. We're going to do that right now after
Beer Through History.
Gose Ale. Gose, pronounced Gose, is a unique and historical style beer with a fascinating origin story that dates back over 1,000 years. This German beer is known for its distinctive sour and salty profile, which sets it apart from other traditional beers. The history of Gose is a tale of regional brewing traditions, near extinction, and modern revival. The roots of Gose can be traced back to the town of Goslar, located in Lower Saxony, Germany. The name Gose itself is derived from the Gose River, which flows through the town. Brewing in this region dates back to the 10th century, with Gose emerging as a popular style by the early Middle Ages. The water from the Gose River, which had high mineral content, is believed to have contributed to the beer's unique flavor profile. Gose is a top fermented beer, traditionally brewed with at least 50% malted wheat, alongside barley malt. The original Gose was spontaneously fermented, utilizing wild yeasts and lactic bacteria present in the environment. This fermentation process resulted in a naturally tart and slightly sour beer. What made Gose even more distinctive was the addition of coriander and salt. These ingredients, rare for beer styles, added an herbal and saline character that complemented its sourness. By the 16th century, Gose had spread beyond Goslar, especially becoming popular in Leipzig, and eventually became the new heart of Gose brewing, with numerous Gosenschanke, Gose taverns, serving this unique beer. Gose enjoyed considerable popularity throughout the 18th and 19th centuries. However, like many traditional beer styles, it faced challenges with the advent of industrialization and the rise of large-scale breweries producing lagers, which became the dominant style in Germany and much of the world. The decline of Gose began in the late 19th century and continued into the early 20th century. Wars, economic hardships, and changing consumer preferences contributed to its dwindling production. By the mid-20th century, Gose was nearly extinct. The last traditional Gose brewery closed in the 1960s, and for a time, it seemed that this historic beer style might be lost forever. The revival of Gose began in the 1980s and 1990s, spurred by a renewed interest in traditional and regional beer styles. In 1986, Lothar Goldhahn, a pub owner in Leipzig, spearheaded the comeback by opening the Gosenschanke and sourcing recipes to brew authentic Gose. His efforts, along with those of other craft brewers in Germany and beyond, brought Gose back from the brink of extinction. In the early 2000s, the craft beer movement in the United States and Europe further fueled Gose's resurgence. Craft brewers appreciated Gose's unique characteristics and began experimenting with the style, introducing variations and twists while maintaining its core attributes of sourness, saltiness, and spice. Today, Gose enjoys a respected place in the diverse world of craft beers. It's brewed by numerous breweries worldwide, with both traditional and innovative interpretations available. Modern Gose often includes additional flavorings like fruit, herbs, and other spices, expanding its appeal to contemporary palates.
Well, that was interesting, wasn't it? I never really knew what a Gose was. I thought it was just like another sour beer, or I really wasn't sure exactly where it came from. In fact, I thought it came from France, but it seems to be coming from Saxony in Germany, and it's been brewed for a while. Kind of fell out of favor. It's come back now. You've got a number of good American craft brewers who are making Goses. I do know that we had a couple here in the upstate that did make sours. They're out of business, but it was Birds Fly South. They made some amazing sours. I tried them. Again, I'm not a big fan of sours, but they were pretty good for what they were worth. Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead and crack into this. Let's see if I can get my big fingers into the can here. I want you to hear this as much as possible. Ah, lovely, lovely. That was a good one. It is from Rock Hill, South Carolina, and it's watermelon. We're going to be pouring this into I just got a standard wheat glass or wheatish glass. It's kind of a hybrid glass, if you would. It's not a wheat. It's not a Guinness glass or a Smithwick's glass. It is going to be just a standard glass for, I guess you would say, a good wheatish type of ale. Now, I expect this to be a little bit cloudy. I expect it to be kind of straw to maybe a little bit darker straw, not copper, not anything along that line, but a good, decent hay maybe color. So we're going to try it. Now, we're also going to we're going to rearrange our judging. Remember, we go in the 5 categories of the beer judge certification program. We're going to do the aroma, then we're going to do the appearance, then we're going to do the taste, and then the mouthfeel, and of course, then the overall impression. I'm going to smell it out of the can. Okay. It doesn't hit you with an overall watermelon flavor. It shouldn't. Watermelons are nice and watery, refreshing without being too overly sweet. They're a good melon. They're not like a honeydew melon or a cantaloupe. They're kind of a little bit more bland, but they still have some good sweetness to them. And here I'm smelling kind of a moderate. It's not overpowering at all. It's not candy flavored. It's not overly sweet. It's not very pungent in terms of its aroma. It just is. I can also smell the hops in it too, which is really kind of lends to the quality of the beer there. Now, we're going to pour it. We're going to pour it gently. See if we can get it a little bit more glass proud. It's a 12 ounce, is 16 or so. So it's not going to go all the way up to the top. The color exactly as I thought. So it's a light straw color. SRM 1, 2, maybe 3. I'm pouring it slow enough. It almost looks like a good Pilsner. It's not. Got a look, see there? Glass proud. Now, as you see, we got our head here. We're going to talk about that in just a few seconds. Let's get the aroma. Now here, I can smell the tartness. I can actually smell the yeast that comes off of it. It's naturally yeasty, or at least if they do it right, they're going to have the yeast. It might be Brettanomyces and maybe lactic bacteria, who knows. But it's going to give it that tartness. That's what really gives it that punch, is the yeast. And I can smell that yeast. It's not an off smell. It just is it doesn't smell like bread either. It's not toasty. And it definitely is not rancid in the sense of, you got a little bit of a mold smell to it, a dankness, and nothing like that. Nothing like that at all. Now, the head went down very quickly. Not that that's bad. It just says that there's not a lot of good proteins in there that hold on to that head like you would normally think. So it being, well, we'll show you the appearance here in just a few seconds. Now I'm starting to pick up some of that watermelon smell, some of that watermelon, nice melony aroma. Okay, so that's our aroma. I'm going to show you the color because I want you to see the appearance. Now, that's roughly about what it is. It's 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 SRM, kind of a nice, good golden straw color. And the head is practically gone. Anything that's there now is coming up from the bottom. No Brussels lace yet. I don't expect any, really, to be quite honest, in this one. It is a sour. It is going to be very crisp and very dry and very tart. So there you go. There's that. I'm going to put that aside. Again, it's slightly hazy. We know it's a craft beer, so it's got a little bit of that haze to it. It's got a little bit of I guess you would say, the proteins still inside the solution. But it's relatively clear. Relatively clear, yes. Much like if you would Eastern European lager, Pilsner, anything like that. Okay. Now, let's try the taste because I'm really wanting to taste this. I'm curious to find out whether it's going to be overly watermelony or it's going to be overly sour. Now, I expect sour. I do. Or if it's going to have another taste to it that I wasn't expecting. I like to have a beer. If you're going to give me something interesting, make sure that it has a good, unique quality that speaks for itself, that's different than what I'm expecting. All right. Oh, okay. Okay. Hang on. Hang on. I like it when my opinion is changed. And I definitely like it when I can find something unique in that beer that, again, makes it stand out, makes it stand on its own. First of all, I do taste the watermelon. The taste is this. If you've had these little hard, clear candies, some of them of which are watermelon flavored, they're kind of the pinkish ones, if you would. We used to sell them all the time in school. They came plastic wrapped. You unwrap them, and they had that watermelon taste to them. That's what it tastes like. So it tastes like one of those watermelon candies. It's not overpowering. It doesn't sit with you. It's not cloyingly sweet. The carbonation is not overwhelming, meaning that it doesn't offend the taste. Yes, I can absolutely taste that candy watermelon flavor. Again, not off-putting. I used to love those things. In fact, they were my favorite flavor. Yes, it brings me right back to that. And it's not completely the most sour thing I've had in my life. It's not like drinking sour lemonade or anything else that's sour. Now, we did talk about the type of, yeast that goes into this. I'm not tasting a great yeast flavor. Sometimes I'll taste that, but I think the yeast kind of is sublime in this. And a lot of the sour became sublime in this. I am pleasantly surprised. When it comes to the taste of it, I am absolutely surprised with it. Now, moving on to the mouthfeel. Clean, very crisp, very drinkable. Something that I would say it's not overly sour. Just, oh my gosh, I can't have this. It makes me pucker. Nothing like that. You don't get that overwhelming need to drink water after it. And again, it's not cloyingly sweet. It's not overly effervescent. It doesn't have too much carbonation to it. Now, I've not had this other than the can here. I haven't been to the brewery. It is Legal Remedy Brewing in Rock Hill. If you're ever in the Rock Hill area, Rock Hill is just shy of Charlotte. Nice little place. I've been through Rock Hill many times. But they apparently make some good beers. I'll have to try some more. I have to review some more of these too. Ah, not offensive when it came back up too. So anyhow, very clean, very clean. Not strong on you should say the malt flavor. So it's like if you would a very light lager. That's another taste example there. But so it's like a light lager with some good flavor to it and a really good flavor. So now the overall impression. I am surprised. I am happily surprised at this beer. I was expecting a lot more sour than this, to the point where my face crunches up. Somebody give me some water. I need some water to go with it. Nothing like that. Very happy about this. So, in other words, from all the rest of the Goses I've ever had, if I were to rate this, with the exception of the watermelon, so it's a flavored beer. I'm not big on flavored beer either. But I would probably put this on a scale now from 1 to 10, probably about a 7 or an 8, believe it or not. I would drink it with a group of people. I don't know if I would have it with a food. You could. I'm not a good pair expert on things like goses or sours or anything else like that, just because of what they are and what they taste like. So if you were to say maybe a cheese, because you could maybe a white type of cheese, A lot of wine and cheese parties have Chardonnay. I'm not a big fan of Chardonnay either. It is too sour for me. So whenever people have like a wine and cheese party or charcuterie, they're going to be served. Charcuterie. There you go. They're going to be serving a Chardonnay. This, I would say, would be something more or less familiar with a charcuterie. If the charcuterie had, pineapple. How about that? Pineapple or some other types of fruits like that. I could see this going with that. Okay, so charcuterie, maybe an hors d'oeuvre dish, something like that. Yes. So think about that. Think about it during your next dinner party. If you have something like charcuteries or hors d'oeuvres or cheese or wine or something like that, definitely think about that. Anyhow, we're going to go over the beer specs, and we're going to do it right now.
Legal Remedy Guilty Party Watermelon Gose. Style: American Gose, top fermenting yeast. ABV 4.4. IBU unknown. SRM 2 to 4.
There you go, folks. The Legal Remedy Guilty Party Watermelon Gose from Legal Remedy in Rock Hill, South Carolina. If you ever get a chance, go to Rock Hill, go to Charlotte anyway. There are a number of breweries right there in that area, anywhere between Charlotte and Columbia. There's some fantastic ones, but definitely go to Legal Remedy. I believe there's another one out there. I'll have to remember what it is. But anyway, I'll see if I can find that beer here too. Now, again, thank you very much for showing up. Thank you very much for being a part of our review here. Remember, subscribe, okay? Ring that notification bell. Make sure you get notified the next time we have a video out. I assure you, we've got plenty more to go. I'm looking at doing a lot more videos on reviews of beers. It's just been a little difficult lately trying to get all of what I want to show. If you do get a chance, go down in the comment or go down in the description below. We've got our link to our beer review logbook. Now, I don't make any money off this. Okay, I picked it up and I just thought it would be great for you folks to go through and see if you can order one of these. It is a beer review logbook. You take it with you. It's got some good information in it about beer. So if you're not really as experienced, but want to learn more about it, or you want to take it, maybe look good with your people, right? Definitely get one of these. Pocket size, you can take it with you, write down your beer experiences, kind of keep a logbook of what you've had. If you're ever in the upstate of South Carolina, the Upstate Ale Trail, I still need to get some new ones. They list out breweries in the area. Some of them have been out of business. We've got new ones, so they may not be listed in here. But if you find one of these, I love that. Ooh, that's good. If you find one of these, definitely go pick it up. You're usually going to find it at a tap room or something like that. Community Tap here in the upstate, Swamp Rabbit Brewery, anything like that. Not Legal Remedy. Liability Brewery, Fire Forge, Yeehaw. They should have them there. Just pick them up. They're free. Go through and mark down your experiences. Now, I actually went online to see if I can still find this. This is a Total Wine Total Guide to Beer. If you can find it, great. I do know that Total Wine has this as a part of their website. Yes, you have to go to the website and look up all the good information on there. I'd really love to talk to them about reprinting this, or at least updating it and getting it reprinted. But the Total Wine Total Guide to Beer, it's like my little wine Bible. A lot of the information in there does not go out of date. Maybe some of the listings, maybe some of the examples, but quite honestly, it's a fantastic little book. If you can find it, go grab it. Now, if you're out and about doing your little beer hunt, don't want to take that long book, look for the beer score sheets down below. You can take it, you can print it out. You can pull it down as a PDF and print it out. You're going to be able to list your 5 categories of the Beer Judge Certification Program. Take a couple with you, write down the beer and all the specs for it and all your observations for that beer. As well down the side here, it gives you a lot of off flavors and the off flavor reasons. Kind of diagnose what you're tasting. Again, if I tasted an off flavor for this one, well, I know I'd be able to pick this up, find out, well, it's kind of an astringent flavor to it. Let's see what astringent is. Yes. Puckering, lingering, harshness, and or dryness at the finish and the aftertaste. Well, it's a Gose, so it's going to be a little bit like that. But you get the idea. If it's not supposed to be a certain style, this will help you out find out. Plus, you can fold it up, put it in your pocket, and take it with you. Now, again, thank you for being here today. We really appreciate you watching our video. Remember, subscribe, right? Ring that notification bell. Make sure you get notified the next time I have a video out. And I like to review as much as possible. If you have a beer you want me to review, leave it in the comments. I do read the comments, and as best as possible, if I can find it, I will, and I'll bring it to you. Other than that, today, the Guilty Party Watermelon Gose. Go have a good summer. Eat some watermelon. This is what we like to do here. Now, as we say here, Prost, Chin Chin, Kanpai, Salud, Slancha, and of course from America, cheers. I just love that. It takes me back to my childhood. Anyway, peace, love, and beer.